Hi and happy first day of summer. I'm Judi Vitale with ReadTheStars.com, and I wouldn't let the summer solstice go by without talking a little bit about the sun in Cancer and, of course, the summer solstice and the solstice chart. I didn't know what to do this time. I'm talking so much about what's going on with all the other planets for the next few months that I thought maybe we would just settle in and focus on those two topics, Cancer and the sun in Cancer. Let's start there. By the time the sun gets into Cancer, there is life all around us. All the animals are, coming out, and all the bugs are out, and the flowers are blooming, and things are growing, and it's gorgeous outside, and it is summer. It is the time of life of our life and of our year when we just kind of go, and we do relaxing things, we hope. We pull our hair back, and we dress a little more casually, and we just enjoy ourselves a little bit more. And I think that is a big lesson that Cancer people can teach us all. To Cancer people, I am one, so I'm a little bit distorted in my view. So, I do kind of try to see myself objectively, but perhaps you have some other ways of expressing this. But then again, I can also be very harsh about things that I figure, oh, well, it's me anyhow. So don't be offended either way here if you are a Cancer or if you are not a Cancer. Cancer people tend to put more of an emphasis on their feeling life, for one thing, on their home and family, for another. And why this is such a good thing to have this kind of feeling as the sun moves into this sign at this point in the year is that it makes us not be so darned focused on work all the time. So it is a time when we want to do things like just be at our home, get together with some family, visit them, have them visit us, that sort of thing. But, at the same time, we do have to keep our work life going, of course, but the idea is about balancing and bringing things back into balance. Now, the other thing about having the sun in Cancer is that things go up and down, and moods go up and down with people. Would somebody seem like they were perfectly happy one minute, and then they get all cranky and nasty the next? And that's a very Cancer thing, and it really doesn't have anything to do with the people around. It's just the Cancer is water. It's the first water, the first water of the year, because we had Aries was fire, Taurus was earth, Gemini is air, and then we have Cancer, water, the first rush, the onrush of water. So it's that the cold kind of water that you feel the first time you go swimming, or the thunderstorms. If you're in an area, if you're lucky enough to be in an area like getting the thunderstorms that we get here in Pennsylvania, they are fabulous. But I think that the idea that water is changeable, that it can be gentle like it is in a pool or in a pond or in like a nice quiet lake, or it can be very turbulent as it is during a storm or coming down a stream or in the ocean. The ocean is Cancer's favorite place. It's the perfect time to go to the beach, of course, in the northern hemisphere, because the water is getting warmer, but also just because of that relaxed feeling and the affinity that we can feel with the soothing effects of water. So get into some water during the Cancer sun. If you can't get to a river or a lake or anything like that, take a bath. Just stop with the shower thing, which is also fast and everything, and really take a bath and see what that feels like to have that water all over your body. It's wonderful, especially for those of us who happen to have a lot of water in our charts. Now, onto the solstice chart. As you know, we're going to have some rather interesting planetary aspects occurring just after the sun enters Cancer. On June 24th, Uranus and Pluto will be in square. On June 25th, Jupiter and Neptune will be in square, and Saturn will go direct. And then, also on that day, we're going to have Mercury going in to its next sign, and then on Wednesday, the 27th, Venus will go direct after her long retrograde in Gemini. So all of these things are going to be going on that week. There's even a Jupiter-Uranus sextile coming up a little bit later on the 22nd of July. That's right when the sun goes into Leo. But we're also going to have a Mercury retrograde that's going to occur during the summer solstice or summertime. And even while the sun is in Cancer, it starts on July the 14th and goes all the way through to the beginning of August. So let's just talk a little bit about what a solstice is. It is the point in time when the Earth is tilted at its maximum toward the sun in one direction or the other. In the northern hemisphere, when the sun is tilted toward the sun, when the Earth is tilted toward the sun to this degree, we call it the summer solstice. So this is the longest day, the longest number of hours of daylight in the northern hemisphere. So that's why we call it a solstice. That's why we celebrate it. It is like a station on the year. Also, the sun, when it moves into a cardinal sign at the beginning of each season, will come to that special world axis that I just love to talk about. And that world axis really is what happens in the news more than in our personal lives. And that is why, if you didn't notice or you didn't turn on a TV or a radio today, there's so much going on, it's like incomprehensible. And I think that some things are going to come into some peaks. Certainly there will be peaks of activity on those dates that I previously mentioned, but here are some more. The sun is like a trigger, okay? There are things that are up in the sky for a while, like Uranus and Pluto are going to be going back and forth in this square, for a few years. But when the sun gets involved in there, it really accents, it brings light from the one planet to the other, and it really stirs up the interaction between the two planets. On June the 29th, we're going to have Sun opposite Pluto and Sun square Uranus. So whatever happens on Sunday the 24th is going to happen again on the 29th, or we're going to hear more about that. Then on July the 15th, we're going to have the Sun and Saturn in a square. Saturn never likes to get let out of these things, but this is the Sun coming to the end of Cancer, and of course Saturn is toward the end of Libra, so the two of them are going to square off. And we also are going to have a full moon on July the 3rd in Capricorn, and that has to do with the Cancer Sun and the Capricorn Moon, so we'll talk about that when it comes. But Cancer and Capricorn are mother energy and father energy. Something I didn't say. I'll get to that in the end. And then also, we will have a new moon, which will take place a little bit later in July, like around the 20th, 21st, somewhere around in there. And that's going to be at 28 degrees of Cancer, 55 minutes. Ooh. So that's like right at the end of the sign, at the end of the cardinals, and right at the beginning of the fixed area of the world. For those of you who don't know, I am a Uranian astrologer, and so I think a lot about the Aries axis and the things that happen when planets go over that point. So I really do think that the fact that the sun is going to be in Cancer and is going to reach that point at 8 degrees of the cardinals where Uranus and Pluto are having their square, I think that that's going to make for some interesting sky watching and interesting news watching. And there will be some things in our personal lives, of course. But while the sun is in Cancer, what I want you to do is to mother yourself. Now, I just mentioned there are mother energies and father energies. The father energy is all about bringing the best out in the child, okay? And this is bringing courage and confidence to a person. The mother energy is something different. It does bring confidence, and it does bring some courage, but for the most part, mothers tend to hover and protect and coddle, and they're the last person to see where the child needs improvement. And that's how we have to treat ourselves now, to look at the good parts of ourselves and really emphasize what it is that we do well. Enjoy it, relax, do some of your favorite things, and enjoy the start of summer. So I'm Judi Vitale with readthestars.com. If you have any questions, comments, you can send them to me at Judi, Judi, at readthestars.com. If you would like to have a private video reading, go to my site, readthestars.com, click on private video reading. You get 5 to 7 minutes of me talking about you and your chart, and you pay me through PayPal. All the details are up there on the website. I hope that I'll hear from you.